On February 5, 2013, Keesler Air Force Base had the honor of hosting retired Lt Col John Ewell as a guest speaker at the Roberts Consolidated Aircraft Maintenance Facility. Ewell was a B-52 Stratofortress pilot during the Vietnam War. He was shot down over North Vietnam in December of 1972 and was held as a prisoner of war until March of 1973. Keesler personnel from all over the base listened intently as Ewell told the crowd the unique feeling of dread he experienced leading up to Operation Linebacker II, which was the first time American B-52 bombers flew missions over Hanoi.
In the hallway, the crews that had flown that first wave were just coming back in to debrief. As we were leaving after we had been briefed, we were going out to our airplanes, and I remember seeing some of these guys in the hallway. Nobody said a word. I didn't say anything, they didn't say anything. But looking at them, I thought, this is going to be a real interesting night. And as it turned out, it certainly was.
During the fourth night of the operation, Yuill and his crew were greeted by fierce anti-aircraft fire. 2 North Vietnamese surface-to-air missiles struck Ewell's B-52 over South Hanoi, and he was forced to eject from the aircraft along with his crew. The experience was unforgettable.
So my free fall, you know, you're supposed to spread eagle, put your arms out and everything, stabilize yourself. My free fall, I can best describe as when you blow a balloon up and release it. That was my flight path, free falling. I was all over the place.
Shortly after Ewell reached the ground, the North Vietnamese army showed up. Ewell was put on a truck and taken from hamlet to hamlet until finally arriving at the infamous prison known as the Hanoi Hilton. Miraculously, all of Ewell's crew survived and were reunited. Just before Christmas in 1972, Ewell's wife, Rose, learned that her husband had been shot down.
The blue car pulls up in the driveway about midnight, and the doorbell rings, and she said she knew, there wasn't any doubt in her mind what it was. When she opened the door, she said, just tell me whether he's dead or alive. And, well, we don't know.
Fortunately, a North Vietnamese camera crew had filmed Ewell and his comrades once they reached the prison, and word got back to Mrs. Ewell that her husband was alive. Ewell said that although his week in solitary confinement was unbearable, he couldn't imagine the anguish of the POWs who had to stay for multiple years.
All of us, and that was me at this time, we got so much stuff going on. You know, we always got this, that, we're always saying, oh, I got to meet, and that's our life. And that's your life, and then all at once you find yourself in this little cell, and you don't have anything. You don't have a light, you don't have a radio, you don't have a television, you don't have a news, you don't have any communication with any other human being except the guard, and it's a change. It's a real change.
In early 1973, America signed the Paris Peace Accords and a ceasefire was declared in Vietnam. Ewell was released and flown back to the United States. One Keesler airman, Senior Master Sergeant Phuc Phan of the 335th Training Squadron, expressed personal gratitude to Ewell for his service in the Vietnam War. Phan's family left Vietnam for America in 1975 when he was 8 years old, and Phan said that if it weren't for the service and sacrifice of Ewell and others like him, he wouldn't be able to enjoy the freedom and opportunities he has today. The moment served as a poignant reminder to Keesler's airmen that the United States Air Force's role in world events affects more people than they might realize, and that the honor of wearing a military uniform is due in large part to the service of men like Jack Ewell.